Well, everybody, welcome to the August session of Ask Me Anything. I'm Kevin. I'll be your host along with Roger, Bob, and everybody else that wants to put their 2 cents in or whatever. Does anybody have any questions?
Yeah, I have about three, but again, I didn't write them down, so I don't remember them.
I do have a question.
Go
Uh,
for it.
my computer, it's an Intel 2017, and the most current OS I can use is Ventura. So I'm contemplating getting something new. Should I be concerned about security problems with stuff that's that old, or just go ahead and live with it? Or if I need to get something new, what should I be getting? All I'm doing is, stuff like this, and email and uh, watching videos online, that sort of thing. And I don't have a whole lot of heavy needs.
The way I look at it is if it does everything you need it to do, there's really no reason to get rid of it.
Okay, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Exactly. I mean, you could upgrade the operating system a little bit further,
Uh,
using
I've
third-party software to do that,
okay,
but it's probably not even needed yet.
okay.
As far as like security goes, there'll be one point where you'll stop using Safari and only use Firefox or Chrome
I have
until
done that on a couple of sites.
right. So that's going to be your biggest concern.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
One of the things that you should think of is how big an attack surface do you have? How easy would it be to attack huge amounts of your assets coming in through your Mac? If everything's pretty much known to your Mac, then your security stake is much higher. But if basically it's stuff that's not that you don't value as much. Now, of course, you got to think about what what to value because irreplaceable photographs of family members, that sort of thing, those are worth protecting for sure.
All that stuff is backed up.
That's really all you need to worry about as long as you have backup of your files or your important stuff.
I've got something like maybe it's a challenge. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead, Tommy.
So if I'm working on a project and I put PDFs and Word and spreadsheets and Word files in a folder, and my computer goes south, and or something happens, I can go to my clone, or I can go to a time machine, and I can find that and recover it. But if I want to get something that lost, something that my in an email folder, how do I go about finding it? Where is it? It's tremendously complicated going into a library.
Well, email is slightly different depending on how you have your email set up. If you have it set up as IMAP, means everything sits on the server, you could log in with another with any email client and access all your old emails. The problem lies when people use the on my computer side. If you have stuff that is on my computer instead of on the cloud, if something happens to your drive, you lose that email.
Now, don't I run into trouble when I have a lot, leaving it on the computer with space?
Well, email doesn't take up too much space. I have probably 20 years worth of emails and it takes up less than 5 gigs.
Oh, okay. That's. 'Cause I have my set up so when I read it to erase it off the service, so I should probably stop doing that. leave it on there.
Well, when you that's it, that if you read it and it erases off the hold on one second. I'll be right back. I'm back. If it erases off the server after you read it, that means it's the old POP protocol. I
All
don't
right.
know if anybody uses that anymore. So if you were to move it into a folder and that folder is up on the server, it's still up on on the server.
Yeah, that's what I do. And I have IMAP.
Okay, if you have IMAP and all your folders are up on the server, they're going to
Yeah.
be on every device that you have. All you have to do is launch an email client and log in. Or if you're using iCloud, you log into iCloud.com and you can see all the email.
Okay. Wonderful.
Yeah, you won't lose anything if everything is set for IMAP. As long as you don't put the folders under the section that's called On My Computer. And
I save copies on I save it on my computer.
right, but when you say you save it on your computer, if you look in your sidebar of your mail program, like you'll have Gmail, I don't know who you use for email.
Mail Maven.
Right, but that no. What is the who's your host? Is it iCloud or is it a Gmail?
iCloud.
Okay. If you look at under iCloud, you should have all your folders there. There may be a section of there called On My Computer. If you have that section, anything that is under the On My Computer is not available on the server. You can move those things back up, which is where they should be to begin with.
Okay. Okay, great. Thank you.
Moving them back up, you mean just grab them and drag them up above the on my computer?
Yeah, like say you have a folder called 2025 taxes, and it's in a folder on the left under On My Computer. If you just drag that folder and move it into iCloud, your computer will upload it to the server, to iCloud server, and then they'll be available via iCloud.
Okay, thanks.
Anybody else have any questions?
I do.
Go for it.
I just bought my daughter a Neo using up my raffle winnings from March, and I want to get a new backup drive for her. And looking for a recommendation for backup.
You have a Costco membership?
Yes.
Costco has 1 terabyte drives, I think, for 169 or something like that. Solid state drives, which used to be recommended and extremely cheap, have gone up in price big time. So either look at Amazon for something that's on sale. It really doesn't matter what you get as long as it's rated. You don't want anything rated over 1050 megabits per second. They have a lot that are rated at 2 megabits per second or 2000 megabytes. Those are not supported by Mac. That's a Windows only feature, believe it or not.
So say again what I want to
You
get.
want something that's it'll tell you the right speeds, and you want it in between 950 and 1050 megabytes per second. That'll give you
Okay.
your fastest backups.
Okay. She does like her new machine.
I haven't even seen one yet.
Well, we went last week, and the only thing they had left was the pink one, so she got a pink one.
According to the backup company, Backblaze, Toshiba hard drives in their testing are the most reliable. And you can get a 1 terabyte mechanical 2.5 inch Toshiba drive for, I think, around $80 on Amazon.
Okay.
Yeah, but those will take, Denny, the difference between that is what'll take 2 hours on a Toshiba on a spinning drive to backup will take 10 to 15 minutes on a solid state drive.
But if your backup's happening overnight, who cares?
True.
I have a follow-up question on the email. So my internet provider is Comcast. So I grabbed a couple of my folders that were under on my Mac and I moved them up to under Comcast and it did move it, but it's still back under on my Mac. So now I have it in two places.
Right. Yeah, after you make sure that it's actually moved up there, you would log into Comcast to your email server
Yeah.
and make sure all the emails in the subfolder are there. Then you could delete the one that's on your Mac.
Okay.
And also just note that Comcast is moving over to Yahoo by the end of the year.
Okay. Is that good or bad?
That depends on how you look at it. It's a pain in the neck to set it up, but it works.
Okay.
I have a question.
Hi, Natalie. Go ahead.
I went to the Apple store and switched when my phone iPhone 15 rings, it flashes now.
Hmm.
I cannot figure out how to undo that.
Okay. Let me grab my iPhone and find that setting. iPhone.
Pretty disturbing in a movie.
Yes. Um, let me see.
It was something different than just choosing under.
Yeah, it's under accessibilities or something like that. I just got to find it.
Okay. That gives me a good start.
Um,
How about using theater mode?
Well, I could do that, but I really don't need it flashing, period.
Yeah.
I would like it to go away.
okay, so whoops, go to accessibility.
Uh-huh. I'm there.
Then let me see where this was. It was audio and visual.
Okay.
And then on the very bottom, it should say on the visual flash for alerts.
Off.
Is it off now or was it on before?
I'm turning it off.
Okay, there you go.
Wow.
Thank you very much, accessibility. And one other question. When I got the Apple Watch, and now when the phone rings, the watch goes off, but I don't always have my phone close to me. So I can't hear anything on the watch. Is there a way the watch can notify me the phone is ringing, but not pick up the call?
It'll only pick up the call if you tap the phone button. So what I do on my Apple Watch, because when I tap that phone button, nobody could hear what I'm saying and I could hardly hear them. I just use it as a notification.
Okay.
And then once I get the notification, oh, somebody's calling me, you could actually take your hand and move your whole hand on top of the watch, and that silences the notification.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you.
And then you can find your phone and use it that way.
I'll quit screaming at my wrist. Thank you very much.
No
I
problem.
When it happens to me, Natalie, it's hard to hear the other person and probably hard for them to hear me. So basically I just say, please hold. I'll be with you in a moment. And then go find my phone. Hi, how you doing, Joe?
That's kind of what I've been doing, but I don't run quite fast enough sometimes. Thank you.
Natalie, which phone or which watch did you get?
I got the newest one, and I got the little larger size, and I don't know. I bought it 6 months ago.
Okay. So what I got the Series 11 last year, and what I found if I turn the crown and turn up the volume all the way, I can almost talk on the phone. Not well, but I have really crappy hearing, and I can make it work if I have to until at least I get to my phone.
Okay.
So, yeah, and hopefully in the future
All right, I'll try that too. If not,
well, it might help just in a pinch, yeah.
Yes.
So you can at least communicate, yeah.
Thank you.
Now, I remembered something that I wanted to ask and see if Kevin has an idea on it. After the last iOS update, when I'm in the car, it says unlock your iPhone to use CarPlay. And it never did that before, and I don't really like it. I'm not worried about someone stealing my iPhone out of my car. If somebody steals my car and my iPhone, I've got bigger problems. Is there a way to turn that off?
Yes and no. Number one, I've been bitching at Apple about that since, I don't know, 5 years ago. And here's what they've explained it to me. Your phone gets into a state where it thinks it was just turned on. When it's in that state, you have to unlock it to use CarPlay or any of the CarPlay features. So when I'm in my car, normally I could just say, hey, S lady, or I press the button on my dash and I say, give me directions. And it just works. Other times it tells me you have to unlock your phone for that feature. It should never do that. But what it is that your phone is in a state where it thinks that it was turned off. So it needs your passcode in order to turn it on to use CarPlay.
If the phone was actually turned off, or if it wasn't open when I plugged it in, then I don't have a problem with that. But I get in the car, turn on the car, plug it in, set it down, and it says, oh, you got to unlock it to use CarPlay.
There's another, I don't know if there's a USB accessory in there. So you're plugging yours in for CarPlay?
Yes, yes.
Okay, let me check something.
You know, Bob, I never see that, and I plug in every time.
Well, this is just recently, Chris. It's happened for the last month. I think it happened while I was driving back and forth to Wisconsin and Illinois.
It definitely does it if you upgrade, or even if it's a minor upgrade, or if you reboot it. I think those things, the phone
Right.
probably is trying to protect itself, and it doesn't want to. It's going to challenge you, and then after you unlock it, like the next time you get in the car, it should be okay. But I'm not sure. I get it though, because that happens to me too, and it is irritating.
Yeah.
And sometimes it doesn't seem to be. Like, I don't remember doing either of those things. And it's still, it is annoying.
There's a new thing in iOS 27 that is potentially even more annoying, that dialogues pop up now that say you have to tap I'm not driving
Oh,
for certain features. Then, if you think about it, it could actually be more dangerous than a safety thing, because then you've got to look at the phone and find where it is and tap it. It's not a very big dialogue either.
Yeah, Bob, I don't see anything on the phone, but I may be missing. I know, like on Mac OS 26 and 27, there's an option for when you're using a USB device to always allow or request permission. I don't
Okay.
think the iPhone has that feature.
Okay.
But
well, I guess
I
I'll
also know that I haven't, the iPad that I usually leave it in the bedroom all the time. Don't restart it, but at least once every other day, I have to enter my passcode in order to use Face ID because the iPad thinks it was restarted, even though it wasn't.
Well, I think it's Apple being, the nanny and trying to protect us more than we really want to be protected.
Right.
Yeah.
I guess I'll live with it.
There is a feature for security under Apple ID. Let me see. I know I had to turn it off. It had something to do with familiar places. So that if your phone is not in a familiar place, you need to enter your passcode manually before Face ID works.
Yeah, that's like one of the theft prevention
Right.
things.
And if
Yeah.
you have that enabled, then that might make sense.
Okay, well, I guess I'll just live with it until it doesn't happen anymore. My other thing is on Mac OS. And Mac OS 26, they put little tiny icons next to each menu choice. And I'm sure that helps somebody, but it annoys me. As far as I know, there's no way to turn that off in Mac OS 26.
What do you mean by icons by menu choice?
Okay, you click on any menu.
Okay.
Like, you click on it, I'm going to use the zoom menu. Click on the window menu and it says minimize. And there's this little tiny icon next to it.
Oh, yeah, to the left of it.
And close, and there's an X, and then zoom, and there's something else.
Right.
I'm sure there's somebody that this helps.
No.
But for me, it's just taking up extra room, and I don't like it, and I want it to go away. But I've asked about that, and it's like, no, there's no way to turn it off. Maybe in 27, it'll be turn offable.
Or gone.
Or gone. Yeah, I don't even see a need for those.
To me, it should be under accessibility, and you can turn it on.
Yes.
Yeah, but even then, I mean, if you look at them, they're so small that they don't really do anything.
No, they don't really do anything. They just kind of, to me, it makes it harder to read the word and makes the dialogue, makes the menus wider. And to me, it's unnecessary.
It justifies Alan Dye's salary. Thank God he's gone.
Okay, enough.
Bob, where is this?
Okay, are you on Mac OS 26, Tommy?
Yes.
Okay. Click on any menu.
Okay, yeah.
There's this little bug-sized icon next to cut, copy, paste, and all of the menu choices, just to the left of it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
To me, it seems unnecessary, but
Bob, I found there is a terminal command that's supposed to disable the icons.
okay. I will wait until it's in accessibility.
New Siri said the same thing. Inline menu icons on Mac, you can use the terminal command to disable.
Chris, you got a cat on your head and a pigeon on your shoulder.
Yeah, that was a shot I took a couple of years ago. I didn't realize the pigeon was there until I came back inside because it was almost dark. And my camera club friends wanted to know if the kitty had squab for dinner. And I said, I don't know, it was dark. I couldn't see.
I'm looking for drool out of the mouth of the cat.
Yeah, he knows it's there. I think the pigeon knows it's there too. So
that's a great picture, Chris.
oh, thanks. Yeah.
I discovered something quite unusual. My wife's iPad started acting up, and there was no way I could restart it. It just wouldn't restart. And I called Apple, and they walked me through it, and then they said they would send me to a human being, but it was too late. So I called again this afternoon, and I did and anyway, what they said is, if you can't restart your iPad, click on the down button. Mine hers is a touch ID. So click on the down button for a minute, for a second, click on the up button for a second, and then click on the touch ID. But I found out that will restart it if it has not been unlocked. Because when I unlock it, it wouldn't restart. When it was locked, it would restart.
So what was the problem that you're having, Tommy?
I couldn't restart. The icons were frozen. It wasn't working.
So the way you would normally do that is you have the three buttons on the iPad. You have your up volume, your down volume, and then you have the power button up on top.
Right. You hit the top button
You,
and the
you
side
hit, you tap the top up volume, tap the lower volume, and then immediately hold down the power button for 10 seconds.
Right. That didn't work until I did it when it was unlocked, when it was locked. Then it worked magically.
How did you get it locked?
Well, I just let it go
off.
dark and waited a second, and then when I turned it on, it was locked.
If the S lady will listen to you, you can ask the S lady to restart.
But then I have to unlock it. Okay, I never thought of it. Good idea.
Anybody else?
I've got kind of a
Okay.
tangential subject. I found a really fascinating show on PBS called Once Upon a Time in Space, and it's about the early space program and our involvement with the Russians after the Soviet Union fell. And it's stuff I've never seen before, and I found it. I'll put a link to the show in the chat. The thing is that the episodes are starting to disappear starting next week. So I may have been up there for a long time. I didn't know about it, but if this is something that might interest you, you might want to take a look at it sooner rather than later.
What service is it on, Chris?
Sorry?
What service is it on?
Oh, PBS. The link is
Okay.
in the chat.
In the
And
PBS app?
yeah. Or probably
It's
the PBS
only the
website.
4-part series.
Yeah, might be 4, maybe 5. I'm not sure. I haven't really seen how many. I thought there were more episodes than that. Let me see. I think I've got it in yeah, it's a little confused. Okay, there's episodes. Yeah, exactly. I think it's just 4 episodes. It also goes through in episode 1 about the Challenger and Columbia. So if that's something that really affects you, you might want to keep that in mind because it gave a whole new perspective to it and made it a lot worse. But the episode 2 had a lot about the Russians, and a lot of the Russian conversation comes through, which is kind of interesting. Because I studied Russian once upon a time. I understand about half of each sentence, but that's been a while. But it's just kind of interesting to see the perspective, particularly and looking back on how we kind of forced them to ditch their Mir space station. And it's interesting to just look at this stuff and just from a neutral point of view and go, oh, as to what stuff that really happened back then.
So, Chris, do you contribute to the Arizona public media, and that's how you get stuff on the PBS app?
Correct. I believe it's at least $5 a month. At least that's what it used to be.
I started that 2 or 3 months ago, and that's what I'm paying is $5 a month, and it unlocks all the stuff on the PBS app, which I find a little less frustrating now than I did 90 days ago. But I think discoverability is poor on that app.
Yeah, I didn't know what to expect or where this was. And I once had a question when I lived in Fremont, California, and I called back, and this nice lady was helping me because I had two different accounts and I wasn't sure why. Turned out I only had one. And I said, "You really know a lot about this?" And she said, "Yeah, I'm in charge of programming for KQED." So, which is an enormous station in San Francisco. And I asked her, "Why is it that these things go off the air?" She said, "It's all about the attorneys.
Yeah.
They determine how long the things are going to be on." So, but it's it's such a different perspective seeing it from the Russians' point of view, and especially, in their being part of their space program and then watching their government collapsing and running out of money and stuff. It's just sort of very interesting historical perspective. Doesn't change my mind about the Cold War or anything, or Ukraine, but just an interesting historical program.
I found PBS hard to put on my TV. In fact, I wasn't able to do it.
Do you have
Does the PBS app,
Yes.
is that downloadable for you?
Well, it's downloadable, but I've got to log in every time I want to invoke it.
Do you have an Apple TV, Tommy?
No.
That's where
I would-
mine is on my TV, is in the Apple TV.
Yeah, I find the Apple TV or a Roku is so much better than the built-in apps that you could put on a TV.
Yeah.
I use rabbit ears for PBS because you can get that just about anywhere if you pick the right direction.
Not where I am.
Maybe not, maybe not every, but I mean, PBS does have a lot of transmitters. They're redundant if you're near a city.
Yeah, but there's a difference between over-the-air PBS and in the app. The
Oh,
app
yeah.
has a lot of, back catalog stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Over the air would be live.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, there's an enormous catalog. I mean, the entire Ken Burns catalog is up there. So if you missed any of the Ken Burns series, they're there.
Thank you, Chris. I need to search Ken Burns and see what comes up.
I had an interesting experience lately. I got a new iPhone and I put the old iPhone next to the new iPhone and they never connected. So then I backed up the old iPhone to my Mac and then I restored the backup to my new iPhone and it didn't bring over any of my third-party apps, only the Apple apps.
Oh,
Right. But when two things that has to happen, Roger. Number one, you have to make sure that you select that you encrypt your backup.
Yes, I did that.
Okay. And then what it'll do, even if you did the side by side, it doesn't move the apps over. It just tells Apple where the apps belong, and then the apps will download
Yeah, that didn't
from the
happen.
cloud. If you want to actually move everything over from one device to another, you have to use an app called iMazing.
Yeah, I have
And
that.
iMazing will transfer from one phone to the other, including all apps, even if they're no longer available.
Okay, yeah, I didn't think about Amazing. But the last time I transferred from an iPhone to an iPhone, it brought over all the apps.
It should, you know.
So I
And
called Apple and they showed me, I can't remember exactly where it is right now, but they showed me where there's a list of all the apps. In fact, there was two lists. Um, some apps which are on both lists, but most of them are on one or the other list. So I could download them from there.
that's a pain.
Yep.
Roger, if you went on to updates in the App Store, iOS App Store, did it bring down the missing apps?
No, it said there are no updates.
Wow, because that's how it worked for me when I got my 16 a couple of years ago.
I would have just updated the OS in the new phone, restart it and put it next to your old phone, see if that it takes again.
Yeah, well, the old phone is on the way back to Apple. I'm leasing the new phone for 49 cents a month.
That's not bad.
Sounds
I
like the
thought it
right
was
price.
good.
Well, that's why you couldn't get all the apps. Oh, 49 cents.
You're only getting
Yeah.
49 cents worth.
You get what you pay for.
I think with apps it's $1.50. But even
It's a
that, I mean, how'd you get it so cheap, Roger?
That
was a 600-year lease.
it was the trade-in on an iPhone 16.
Wow.
Anybody else?
Lee, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm going to be attending the Ecamm Creative Camp at the end of next month, and I have a MacBook Pro with an M1 chip and 16 gigabytes of RAM and a 1 terabyte drive. Is that going to be enough to be able to run Ecamm?
No problem.
Okay. I don't have to upgrade.
Well, now, if you were looking for an excuse to upgrade, but I ran Ecamm on a um, M1 Mac Mini for a couple of years and never had any problems at all.
Great.
And you
Thank you.
went to create, and Roger went to the creator camp with a elderly MacBook, right?
A 2019 Intel MacBook Pro, yeah. And it
Any
worked.
special space requirements?
You
And-
broke up, Chris. Say again.
Oh, I'm sorry. Any special space requirements on storage for
Um,
Ecamm?
no, it's
So-
not really a storage hog. I mean, 1 terabyte
Okay.
should be enough.
Do you have any recommendations on anything that I should bring along besides my?
Wow.
Charger.
I just looked at it. It's in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, so make sure you bring your appetite for lobster.
And
Or
beer.
as they say there, lobster.
How much memory do you need for that, Kevin?
What was that?
How much memory do you need for the lobster?
I don't know, but God, I used to live up that way. So I miss it. I miss that area.
Mhm. Is there anything I should be prepared to bring along besides my laptop?
Um,
No, I don't think so. I think all you need is your laptop.
Okay.
I didn't even know they had these things.
Yeah, they had one at Macstock one day, and then they have the one in New Hampshire. This is, I think, the third year, and then they did one in London.
Wow, does Glenn run them or somebody else?
Well, the marketing department runs them, but Glenn
Okay.
and his twin brother are there.
It's a
Wow.
3-day event. I'm flying up on the 25th. I think it runs the 26th, 27th, and 28th.
28th, 29th, and 30th.
Oh, pardon me. Okay. Then
I'm sorry.
yeah, that's fine. But I've got the right dates. So, all right.
Lee, what are you going to be using Ecamm for?
Well, I've used Photoshop for many, many years, and I was pretty expert at it. But this Pixelmator Pro that Apple acquired is kind of that type of software. It does similar types of things, and I thought it might be kind of fun. I was inspired by Macstock to try to do a podcast, a video podcast, and I figured that if I did that, maybe learning to do or learning to work with Pixelmator Pro and presenting it, it might stick a little bit better. Uh, I don't know if that'll happen, but uh, I thought it'd be fun.
It'll definitely be fun and educational.
Wow. Ecamm has come a long way from little apps that I've known them for. I
Yeah,
had no idea they were doing this stuff.
they're a going concern now. There's a lot of people using Ecamm.
Cool.
A little bit of background business. Roger, would you make me co-host so I can throw people off the air if I decide to do so?
Okie dokie.
Thank you.
Anybody else have any questions?
Bob, is that the Ecamm thing that Marty's going to next month?
Yeah.
Yes, probably.
Okay, well, maybe you already know him if you went to MacStock.
I'll look for them.
Bob,
Yeah.
this is Jerry. I have a question. When for about the last month or two, when I boot my machine, a tiny little well, not tiny, but small little dialog box pops up in the middle of the boot process, and it says the file could not be found. And it offers you OK. I click the OK, it goes away. Everything seems to run just fine. So for some reason, something
Does
has
it
gotten.
does it tell you what file it's looking for?
No, I have looked everywhere. I gave you all the information that I could glean out of it. Um,
When you say during the boot process, where during the boot process? Is it after the Apple and the thermometer? After you type in your password?
um, it's after it's booting. It's after I typed in the password, so it's going through its normal initialization process, and the email is starting to work, that sort of thing, and then this little dialog box pops up that says the file could not be found.
Two things to check, Jerry.
Pardon?
First, there's two things I would check. The first is when you go to restart your Mac or go to shut down your Mac,
Yeah.
make sure the open recents is not checked.
Okay.
That's number one. And you only have to do that the first time
Right.
because it may be thinking there's something in the background that should be open. And then after you do a normal reboot, that's gone away.
You're right.
Second thing, in your system settings, look under general login items and
Okay.
see if there's something in the list there that it's trying to launch at login, but you don't have it on your computer. And it could be a remnant from the old days.
I hear you. Okay. Thanks, Kevin. That's useful things to think about.
I have a question about a publisher. I've got a biography. It's being reviewed by the FBI and it's going to be completed in November. I'm looking for a publisher in Tucson. Has anybody had any experience with that?
I haven't.
After listening to David Pogue talk, don't pick Simon und Schuster.
Okay.
He had a lot of problems with them.
Tom, have you checked with University Press?
No, I've got a couple publishers in mind, but they're not in Tucson. I published a book of poems and I published a book of letters. I had 126 letters published in the Star in the letters to the editor section. And I put them in a book form, and I had that self-published here in Tucson. But I'm looking for this book. I want to try and get it on Amazon and Prime, and it's got to be approved by the FBI. There's about 6 chapters on FBI cases and stuff like that it has to be approved. Otherwise, you get in big trouble.
Steve from OMUG has a suggestion for Jerry to check over your login items.
Yeah.
One of them might be moved or missing.
That's what Kevin said.
Exactly.
Well, I don't listen to Kevin.
Yeah, no need to. I'm like a clock. I only get it right twice a day.
Okay.
I'm looking for a power strip, power tower, something that will hold the big blocks that now cover up the next plug in a power strip. Do any of you have a favorite one?
Are you talking about a power strip that's big enough for those blocks so they don't cover up the next one?
Correct.
Okay, go on to Amazon
Uh-huh.
and search for 6-inch or 1 foot AC extension cords, just like those.
Yes.
6 foot or
6
one?
inch,
1 foot
Six
or
inch.
6 inch.
6-inch or 1 foot. I use those
Okay.
all the time. I used my last one the other day, so I just ordered another 5-pack, and they're like $2 a piece when you order them.
Oh, that sounds great.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I
Natalie,
wouldn't get the ones like Bob have. Those are
Natalie,
great for an AC wall plug,
Uh-huh.
but you want the ones that are straight.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Can you see this, Natalie?
Yes,
If
I
I'm
can.
talking. Okay.
Uh-huh. All right.
So you search for really short extension cords.
So I'll have a little octopus there, huh?
Well, there's those too.
Yeah.
You get one that plugs in. It's got 5 outlets on the end of 6-inch leads.
Yeah, I
Okay.
use one of those. It works pretty well. At least
Okay.
it's still working. Exactly.
And I won't overload the one circuit.
No.
Not with
With-
computer stuff. It's
Okay.
pretty
I'm no
low power.
electrician, so
Don't do
Okay,
it. Don't
thank
do it
you.
with your toaster and your
no,
microwave at the same time.
Okay.
Anything that is computer related now, they've sweated the power needs down. So the cheapies that you can buy, like they showed you, will work just fine.
Cheapy it is.
I have a sort of semi-related story. I used to work with a guy named Bob Rice, and he told a story about his mom. His mom liked her coffee every morning, and she had the old-fashioned percolator, stainless steel. It was tall, and you plug the cord into the end of it and then plug it into the wall. She had 2 cords for it. She had a long cord and a short cord. When she was in a hurry, she used the short cord because she thought it was faster.
Oh my. The electrons didn't have so far to go.
Exactly.
Wow. Wow. Interesting. Isn't it strange what people come up with?
Those percolators made the worst coffee. Unbelievable. We drank it.
When I grew up, my mom had that thing running every single day for when the neighbors came by.
To keep the neighbors away.
No, well, the opposite. I mean, I lived in New York. Neighbors would just walk in way back when. They wouldn't do that now. Times have changed so much.
Like Seinfeld's neighbor.
Yeah.
I'm chuckling at Chris with his animals over his shoulder.
We don't have pigeons out here in Vail, but we've got a lot of mourning doves.
Yeah.
And I think mourning doves, God's purpose for mourning dove was to make every other animal feel superior.
Yeah.
They are so stupid.
Yes.
Pigeons and mourning doves are pretty much the same thing, but at least pigeons are street smart. Mourning doves are not.
I think they're there to feed the bobcats.
There you go.
Okay, so it's like time for us to take our little break and come back at 7 o'clock for the main meeting. And if you care to stay here and talk amongst yourselves, you're welcome to do so. But